Please remove your car from there. So this is this topic. He said, "Bab ma jaa fi tanjim." He said what is said regarding astrology, right? So astrology here they call it ilm al-tanjim. So it's something that to do with the stars and so on. We have two types of knowledge when it comes to astrology. Some of it halal and some haram. Right? So as he said here, the Imam Qatada and others, they said something two types. One of them ta'thir with tasir. Two knowledge. Knowledge ta'thir mean the stars and the planets has effect on the planet and the earth. And the incidents happen here, the events here, the death, the living, whatever. Things like this, subhanAllah, has to make sure this is the haram knowledge. This is the haram knowledge. The moment you think there's effect of that, the stars upon us, then it become haram. If the other knowledge, which is called tasir, meaning to guide us through like how to, especially back in the days, for the direction, for the days, for the nights, and others, subhanAllah, for the direction of the qibla, things like this, as Allah subhanahu said, وَعَلَامَاتٍ وَبِالنَّجْمِ هُمْ يَهْتَدُونَ. So this is guidance for travelers. There's no problem, subhanAllah. Other than that, you think like they have effect for happiness, for life, for death, for anything in the dunya, then become ilm batil, haram knowledge. We have to be away from it, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have prepared severe punishment and threatened according to the hadith, and the Quran was mentioned. Bukhari, he said hadith by Qatada. Qatada from the Tabi'een. Qatada was from the Tabi'een. He said Allah have created the stars so we know. Because people use the stars, astrology, right? So the stars were created for three purposes. One of them, zina, decoration, to beautify the heaven. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned, he said, وَلَقَدْ زَيَّنَّا السَّمَاءَ الدُّنْيَا بِمَصَابِيحِ. We have beautified the lower heaven with masabih. They call it light bulbs, masabih, which is they look like light bulbs. That's what they try to do, the chandeliers and all the stuff, to imitate. It's not haram to that as long as you don't say this better or something. But the thing is, so the stars, imagine the stars, the heaven without stars, plain. So Allah said, وَلَقَدْ زَيَّنَّا. We have beautified the lowest heaven with masabih. You see how beautiful the scenery there. And one thing for the beauty and also to ponder over the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, said how great the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how beautiful the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As you know, one of the form of ibadah, tafakkur, pondering over, contemplating over the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He said also, so that's the first reason, as decoration, right? Second, to beautify. The second one, رجوما للشياطين, as he said, shooting stars for the shayateen. The second purpose. As you know, subhanahu Allah said, وَجَعَلْنَاهَا رُجُومًا لِلشَّيَاطِينَ. So to strike the shayateen, the one who used to يَسْتَرِقُونَ السَّمَعَ. They used to listen to the conversation in the mala al-a'la. Go. So the shayateen mala al-a'la said they listened to the conversation for one reason, to come down to tell the fortune tellers about what they have heard. They tell them one thing true, and they pile about 100 lies on top of it, and the fortune teller pile more lies and deliver it for the people who dealing with sorcery or believing in them. That's why one of the reasons, subhanAllah, they act like they know the ghaib, which is fabrication. They have nothing to do with the ghaib. So رجوما للشياطين. And the third one, the third purpose, he said, Qatada rahimahullah, he said, علامات يهتدي بها or يهتدى بها. So this is a mark or guidance for the travelers. So the thing is, guidance to know the direction, to know the qibla. And back in the days, now we don't know anything about this stuff. Back in the days when they travel from one city to another, from one town to another, at night time, at the daytime, they used to use the mountains. That's the way they know. Imagine all plain. They wouldn't know. So they mark, like the landmark was the mountains, and the night, the stars. That's the way they used to know. How? I don't know. Don't ask me, because I don't know. But this is the stars that for guide us to that. Now we know with the technology, but back in the days, how did they use it? But they have reached a certain level, definitely. Seems like they know what they are doing. So anything anything been said about the stars, why they were created for, beside this, then become this not false or batil, it's not true, subhanAllah. And he said, subhanAllah, and will be contradict also what have mentioned in the Quran. Because this all mentioned in the Quran. The three things Qatada have mentioned, it's all mentioned in the Quran. That's Allah created this to beautiful decoration, like shooting stars or missiles, shooting whatever, or marks or landmarks or so on, or something guidance for the travelers. Anything beside this will contradict the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And as Allah subhanahu, you talk about something without knowledge. Basically, you say, this is what the stars for, and this is not the star, what the stars for. Allah said this, and you say something different. Allah said, وَلَا تَقْفُ مَا لَيْسَ لَكَ بِهِ عِلْمٌ إِنَّ السَّمْعَ وَالْبَصَرَ وَالْفُؤَادَ كُلُّ أُولَٰئِكَ كَانَ عَنْهُ مَسْئُولًا. So don't say things without knowledge. أَتَقُولُونَ عَلَى اللَّهِ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. You say things about Allah subhanahu without knowledge, without evidence. So here, so your hearing, your sight, your hearts, all this you're going to be questioned about what you say, what you do, what you hear, subhanAllah. And the thing is, he mentioned here, the Imam rahimahullah ta'ala, he said people, because of the stars or believe in the stars or astrology, they stop getting married at certain because of this star. They start traveling because they saw this star, or because the event, they saw movement in the different planet. They stop doing things they should not stop because of that. So this is, they said, this Jahiliyyah belief, it has nothing to do with the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the thing here, some scholars like Uyayna and others, they said it's haram to learn any of that stuff. Because they said something in Islamic, they said in fiqh, said the dhara'a. Things will lead to shirk. Things lead to haram, they stop it. They don't take a chance. Of course, like I said, there's halal, part mubah, we allowed. But not everything, so you have to be very careful. Of course, according to their level of knowledge, but when it comes to technology, they said everything, we don't want to take a chance. So anything basically, as long, because they care so much about the Tawheed, anything you may lead or contaminate the purity of our Tawheed, they said the makruh. Makruh to them is haram. Yakrah. When they mean to say, one of the Salaf, they say yakrah, that's mean it's haram, according to their way. So other scholars like Ahmed and others, they said it's okay to learn the halal stuff from it, subhanAllah. And Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned the hadith also, he said, narrated by Abu Musa al-Ash'ari, radiallahu anhu, said, 3 type people, they will not enter Jannah. Again, when we say they will not enter Jannah, laysa minna, or laysa minna, and so on, not mu'min, true believers, this is that shows here the sin huge. La yadkhulun Jannah, that means Jannah is haram. That shows here that sin huge. So they do not enter Jannah. Done. Whatever after that's big. And the thing is here, before we go to other things, the thing is, a lot of hadith said doesn't enter Jannah, he's not part of my ummah, this and that, shows only major sin, okay? I'm not underestimating sin, but doesn't mean you remain in hellfire forever. They goes under the Mashiach, under the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As Allah said in the Quran, Inna Allah la yaghfiru an yushraka bihi. Allah does not forgive shirk, lakin yaghfiru ma duna dhalik. And He forgives whatever less than shirk. Liman yasha, to whomever He wills. So now, the person, when you commit any sin, you might serve some in hellfire. Allah knows best, according to Him. Allah deal with us with His mercy. Allah is the most fair, the most just. So the thing is, we deserve. So the thing is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you might spend sometimes in hellfire, right? But Allah probably may forgive you. So any sin less than shirk may be forgiven, may spend sometimes in hellfire. Like I said, under the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He said 3 types of people, they will not enter Jannah. One of them, mudmun al-khamr, the alcoholic, the one who drink constantly. And Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he named it al-khaba'ith. He said that the core of every evil act, the reason for every evil, as they said, the alcohol, subhanAllah. He said, and here, the threat from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, listen, do this, you're not going to enter Jannah, one person. So avoid this stuff, subhanAllah. And he mentioned another, subhanAllah, he said, before we go to the moral of this hadith, he said, qata al-raham, the one who sever the ties of kinship. Your parents, number 1. then your brothers, sisters, uncles, aunts, nephews, nieces, grandparents, all the stuff. So comes out, so whoever does disconnect the ties of kinship is something huge, and it's something we need to be careful to fall into, to cut the ties of kinship. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mentioned the hadith. He said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, يَقْطَعُونَ مَا أَمَرَ اللَّهُ بِهِ أَن يُوصَلَ. They sever or they cut off what Allah have commanded us to connect it. So they cut the ties, which when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, sil, connect. And subhanAllah said the consequences for severing the ties of kinship, He said, أُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ لَعَنَهُمُ اللَّهُ فَأَصَمَّهُم وَأَعْمَى أَبْصَارَهُم. Those the one who cut the ties of kinship, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said they were cursed, meaning they're kicked out the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, away from His rahmah. So this is the ties of kinship. Remember we said, this is of course off topic, but the hadith mentioned that, and all the scholars mention whatever in the hadith, they elaborate over it because it's something big and important. He said the thing is, the rahm from ar-Rahman, from ar-Rahmah, was derived, extracted from the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is mercy. And he told Allah the Rahman, the Rahim. He said, would you be pleased to connect the one who connects you and disconnect the one who disconnects you? SubhanAllah, just imagine how severe that. And the other thing, he said, مُصَدِّقٌ بِالسِّحْرِ. مُصَدِّقٌ بِالسِّحْرِ. Believe in the sihr, the sorcery. And this is the moral of this topic, again, the sihr. The sihr has something to do with astrology. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Man iqtabasa shu'batan min al-nujum," who will learn branch of the astrology, فَقَدْ اقْتَبَسَ شُعْبَةً مِنَ السِّحْرِ. Who will learn branch of astrology, he have learned branch of sihr. What does that mean? So this is part of sorcery or magic. So the thing talking about the false astrology, the one which is not supposed to learn. And I think part of that, the horoscope, right? Could be or no? Horoscope. So the thing is, subhanAllah, this is even the fortune cookies. Don't even open it. Don't buy it. Because I'm afraid reading it, even though not believing it, fall into going to a fortune teller without believing him, 40 days your still hasn't accepted. All right, so doesn't matter how good the cookies, you should not do it. I would not even eat it. I would not even touch it. So, I mean, like I said, probably some people will say, okay, I'm eating it, I'm not going to read the paper, for example. Probably you have some people say that. But me, myself, like Uyayna, subhanAllah, I'm not going to touch it. So I don't want to, and nothing to lead this, because probably my son, my daughter, or someone see me, that little kid, or my student see me like, okay, well, I saw this person doing it, so what the big deal? So let me see. So I'm just like for fun. So you don't want to take a chance. I said, remember this word, said the dara'a, anything will lead to haram, we stop before it started. So anything will lead to haram, we'll stop right there, inshallah. طيب. Inshallah, we'll give you a break. Inshallah, we'll stop right here. This basically, we have reached half of the book of Tawheed, Kitaab Tawheed. This is almost half of it. So, alhamdulillah, this is a big accomplishment. Inshallah, I don't know if tomorrow, inshallah, Taraweeh will continue. If not, tomorrow, inshallah, after Dhuhr, we're going to do the Salah. And before Asr, we do the wudu, or vice versa, right? And after Asr, we'll continue with the book of the life of the stories of the life of the Sahaba radiallahu anhum. And inshallah, if there is Taraweeh, we'll continue on with our plan. If no Taraweeh, we'll give the dars for the Sunnah for Eid. What should we do for Eid? Few Sunnah, remember, inshallah. So tomorrow, at least we do 3 things for Allah gives life. Dars for the wudu, dars for Salah, how to practice Salah physically, and dars for the Eid and the Sunnah for Eid, and what